Hey guys, so we spoke about the USDCHF yesterday, and definitely for people who didn't catch it, so here's a recap of it, right? So last week, remember we had like a prediction. I would say we wanted to see how price is going to react when it gets to this level, if it's going to reject at this level, but price couldn't give us that, only for it to break in and all of that. So now let's take things off and let's have our analysis for this particular pair. Okay, so let's go back to the monthly time frame. This is quite a very straightforward analysis. Okay, on the monthly time frame, let's just understand what is going on. What's going on the monthly time frame? It's quite simple, right? We have, let's take this off. So we have a situation whereby price is following an historical or pattern, right? We have the push, we have the exhaustion, we have the push, right? Trying to form the M pattern, right? And so far, price made the push right here, and it hasn't, touched this level. So we're anticipating price, movement back to this 0.870, right? But then what has happened so far? Okay, ever since price started to drop, we start to have like a rejection at 61.8, 61.8, 61.8, and all of that, right? Then when it broke this key level, right, which is also the area, this mid-range is also the area of the neckline of price, right? It gave us a retest, and ever since that price has fell, right? So the past, so far so good, the past 2 months, price has been tracing to the upside. But something that we could see for sure is the price is moving on lower high rejecting at 61.8, also a lower high, and price is so far on the lower high, which gives us a bias already. The price is actually bearish, regardless of what this most recent candle is. Price is still on a lower high structure. So let's bring out a Fibonacci out. You can see the Fibonacci. You can see 61.8 rejection. All right. So now let's move to the monthly, weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, what do we have? We have a previous area of support, turning resistance. A previous area of support, which is still holding. Price is still around that level. So now, this is the previous area of support, turn resistance. So what has happened so far? What has happened so far is the fact that price has gone back to the 61.8 level, right? And price, we want to see what price is going to do. So weekly time frame, price is still on a downtrend, right? So we want to see if price is going to reject this Fibonacci resistance and this area of previous support or resistance, or it's going to break it to the upside. That's what we want to make sense with. So now, because of this, what are we going to do? Let's identify the 61.8 Fibonacci level, right? So we are done identifying that, right? And we can actually have another 61.8 right on this level. And the reason is actually simple. I explained it yesterday, right? Because this was the actual candle the price rejected, and all of this was actually a weak rejection, right? Price didn't really feel this to the downside. It's only a area of double exhaustion for price to move to the upside. So that we could be in full control of what we're doing, we're gonna identify these two levels out. Okay. So now we have reversal area. Both of them carries the same information, 61.8, right? So now, what can we see? Let's make sense with price so far so good, right? Now, the moment price got to this level, when it was coming to the downside, remember it could not touch our TP zone right to this downward side, right? We can see right here that price formed into a consolidation. And after price formed into this consolidation, we see a break, we see a retest, a push, right? We saw a retest, which was what led price, to the 61.8 zone that it is right now. So what do we want to see this week? What do we want to see this week is we want to know if price is going to reject this level. If price could reject this level, then we could have a bias and find a setup opportunity on the lower time frame. So let's get to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, what can we see? This area of consolidation was what led, if you look at it on the daily time frame, gives us a very perfect, zoning, right? The weekly consolidation, right? So definitely we can be looking at, bringing this zone to be the lowest point for price got to, considering that, right? Then let's understand what price is doing. So price got to the 61.8. You can see the first rejection right on this level. You can see we have another rejection. Price, is making a push to the upside. So now what do we have right here? Pretty simple, right? We have a situation whereby we have the most definite lower high, and this is a lower high that is in game, a potential lower high that's forming, right? So we don't know actually. So we have this level to be the major lower high structure, right? Then we have this level to be the potential lower high structure. So what do we see so far? What we see so far is the fact that this level could reject the price, right? Then after price reject from this level, it starts to move on, a lower high structure within this range, right? It made a push, right? Price made another push, right? Price made a higher low right on this level, right? So on the smaller range, price on a higher low, but on the bigger range, you understand, prices on what a lower high, and this could give us a strong lower high. So now let's look at things closely and see what is really happening. So what do? Now that we saw the prices on a higher low structure on the smaller range within the bigger range, we have to identify, our trend line, right? So making this really more bold, we can see something that after price breakout of this, we can see the price completed the AB equals the CD pattern, right? So that means we have a price giving us a perfect AB right here equals to CD pattern right here, right? This is a perfect AB equals to CD, and you know the drill, you know the game, you know the rule. If you've been a student for a long time, but if you've not been a student, I'm going to tell you right now, right? Is that when prices don't form a AB retracement BC and giving us, CD extension, if price should complete a pattern like this and price completes it right on this key level, we are bound, after completing the CD move, we're about to see a rejection. So technically, the principle says we expect a rejection next week, right? Now, apart from the fact that AB because the CD is completed, right, this rejection is around the 61.8 zone, okay? Is around the 61.8 zone. So which is telling us that we have two resistance force. Number one, the completion of the ABCD pattern. Number two, we have the Fibonacci 61.8 resistance. And number three, we have this overall zone, which is previous area of support turning resistance. Makes sense, right? So now that we already beginning to have this, we're already starting to understand what is going on. So now, what are we doing next week? Next week, or rather this week, we want to see if price is going to reject this level, okay? So now, let's take it a bit to the fundamental side of things, right? The fundamental side of things, the USD card was really threatening last week. Why? Because we had a scenario whereby what's it called, the fiscal package, the stimulus package, the rumor is out that it's definitely going to be passed and all of that. So what was price doing? Traders was actually pricing the rumor, thereby strengthening the USD, right? The significance of that is that the rumor that the fiscal package will be passed, right, will actually be priced by the market before the market sell the fact. The actual fact is that if this stimulus package is being passed and more money is being injected into the economy, right, it could weaken the economy, right? Because, okay, we are just printing money and injecting that into the economy. It could lead to inflation, in as much as businesses will get back up, but there's definitely going to be inflation. It's not really good overall for the economy, right? So the fact is that if the facts should come out, which over the weekend we saw that it has passed through the rep in the United States, and we even had more vote. I think about 218 or something, like more Republicans even voted for, you know, the stimulus package to be passed, which is about $1.9 trillion, right? So now, over the weekend, we have that. So next week, we'd love to see the effect of the actual fact. Now, it's now becoming more factual now, because the bill has currently passed through the rep and is now in the Senate, right? We're waiting for the Senate outcome, right? So now there's an atom of truth in this, and the fact seems to be coming out, right? We want to see how the market will reject that next week. So fundamentally, passing through the Senate should be, the effect on the USD should be really a weak USD actually. So, and right now price on the technical chart is on a critical resistance right now. So what do we mean? A, because the CD technically completes, we need an exhaustion, right? Prices at the 61.8 resistance, which has been following this pattern from 2019. The 61.8 resistance, you can say 61.8 resistance has been following for 2019, and all of that, right? So we can see a situation whereby price could be coming down fundamentally. So let's get back to the technical side of things. So let's take it to the 4 hours time frame to see what is going on. So on the 4 hours time frame, let's really adjust, you know, let's adjust the trend. So we have a first touch, second touch, the AB equals the CD, we have resistance right on that level. Then actually we could have this as well, you know, which is a resistance. Grab this, which is a resistance right here. Okay, so now what do we have again? Let's bring out this trend line. Okay, because when price starts to move on the CD move, it starts to price in a structure, right? It starts to price on a structure. So we have this push right here. We have this exhaustion right here. We have this push right here, right? So after it broke above that level, you know, you can see this level right here. After price broke above this level, we can see right here, it gave us a retest, and price went back to the 61.8, right? So this 61.8 right now, we want to know if the zone, this particular zone right here, all of the zone right here, between this level and this level is going to reject price, right? So if it should reject price, actually we're going to be looking at the break of this level, right? We're going to be looking at the break of this structure and the break of the trend line. Then we can actually make our move to this level to take our profit right on this level. So this is what I'm personally looking at, right? So if I'm going to be looking out for trade opportunity on this pair, personally, I'm going to be looking at a situation where my price breaks this key level down, right? So if we see a break of this key level, right, to the downside, you know, to hit this level, something like this, you know, give us a little retracement, then continue to break it out, then I'll definitely be looking out for price, you know, to make that move, you know, down to this level. So what is going to be what am I going to be looking at for me to get into this trade? I'm going to be looking at, you know, taking a risk after price breaks. The confirmation is waiting for price break, yeah, waiting for price break, right? So after I get a price break right on this level, you know, to allow the market break, I'm gonna be looking out for like a stop loss around this level, about 58 pips, and I'm gonna be looking out for a TP down to this key level. Gonna be looking out for a TP down to this key level. Yeah, gonna be looking out for a TP down to this key level. So definitely, this is what I'll be expecting of this pair next week. So first, confirmation on break. If I don't see this confirmation on break, I'm not just gonna enter this trade at all, because there's no point for that, right? Confirmation of break. Then second thing I'm gonna be waiting out for is second thing I'm gonna be waiting out for is break below this structure, the structural break, this last low break. You can see indication right here, then break of the trend line. Then definitely I'm gonna be looking at this a trade of like 57 pips, you know, to 121 pips, which is about 1:2. So definitely this is what I'm expecting on this Fed for next week. So if you like this video, you can like, you can subscribe, you can comment, and even share it to every other platform. Thank you guys so much, and I wish you guys a very beautiful week.